All right. Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new 1% weekly review stream. As you guys know, we run these every single Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Today, we're going to be talking about trades we take this week, pros and cons, and how we can get better into next week. I do the same thing every single week, and I encourage you guys to do the same. So, we'll put down our pros, we'll put down our cons. We'll talk about our overall odds for the week. We will show our journal as well, and then we will ask the very most important question at the end once we get into it. So let's go ahead and start off here. We took 4 trades this week total, 2 losses, 2 wins, which is going to put us at a 50% win rate. And they were both very, very, very beautiful trades. We ended up with plus 6R overall. So let's kind of talk about these trades, why we took them, what we were looking for as far as the week goes, as far as Monday from now, and what we were given. So we did have FOMC on Wednesday, right? That was one that I did not want to trade. So we waited until Thursday and Friday to trade, which was already very, very crucial. At the end of the week, that's when we saw a little bit more liquidity as far as the markets go for us to be able to take trades. Now, on the higher time frame scale, as we are talking about price moving, I had a little correction thing here, but as we are talking about price moving, we broke structure to the downside on H4, and this week we had closed underneath H4 right here. So that goes to show that we created an area of supply within this area here, and we are looking at a large correction to the downside. That's exactly what we got this week, and with that Friday distribution, we were able to catch a very, very nice trade all the way into these lows right here. So as far as this goes, what we were looking for was downside. Let's kind of talk about those trades that we took. So the first one was on Thursday. We took 2 trades, and this was a beautiful example of our disapproval theory that we talked about here. So on US 30, we can notice that we took a long and then we ended up going short. So we were looking for a long after this move, and then we got a closure over this high right here. We ended up not getting that. Instead, it broke underneath that low, and we were able to catch that continuation on M1 through these lows and catch a nice little 3R short as far as that goes. So plus 2R on the day for this day, as we had the -1 and then the plus 2R or the plus 3R. Now, we waited until Friday, same exact thing. We had 10 a.m. news, and then there was actually Trump tariff news that came out that was not on there. But we ended up catching a very, very nice trade. Every single one of these trades were traded live and taken within the 1% Academy. If you guys do want to join, definitely join at discord.gg/leverage, or hit the link in my bio, or you guys can just hit me up on Discord at 1xflow. So today's trade, very, very beautiful. We had an H4 move back into our candle before candle, also known as the flow block. Price moved up into that high, and it is now making that large correction into these lows right here. So candle before candle that broke structure to the downside, came up into that high, held that area of supply. If we go on to M5 following that, we had a nice little break of structure to the downside. And then right when we had this liquidity rate of this low and then this M5 break of structure, that's when we ended up taking our next trade. You can see where we grabbed it right here. We got that trade and we were able to catch a beautiful, beautiful 5R on the day as far as that goes. So we did take one loss right before that as we were using this high as a stop loss. That's just M1. We could have used this full M5 high right here, but instead we decided to just use that M1 high. Took a -1 and then a +5 overall. So 4 plus 2 is going to equal plus 6R on the week. So plus 6R overall, which is very, very beautiful. Let's go ahead and put that down. So we got a plus 6R overall on the week. Very, very beautiful trades as far as the week goes. Everything was called and traded live. Again, if you guys want to see those playlists, they are public as well on YouTube. So definitely just go check out my YouTube, go in the playlist section, and you guys will see those available all the time. So let's talk about our pros and cons for this week. Pros for this week. I want to talk about the minimal amount of trades that I took. So minimal, we'll do minimal number of trades. We stayed underneath that number 6. That's the one that I'm kind of looking for as far as my personal risk management goes, is staying underneath 6 trades, which is 2 trades a day, 3 trades a week, or 3 days a week. So minimal number of trades. And as far as cons go this week, boys, we followed risk management very well. We did everything that we needed to do. So we followed our rules. We followed the system and we followed our systematic rules as far as that goes. So pros, minimal number of trades, we followed our system. And then as far as cons, I'm going to go ahead and put none. Now, it could have been a little bit more patience, maybe as far as this trade goes or this trade goes, but at the same time, we still managed risk and we were still able to continue with our positions and take those trades and come out green as far as that goes. So now I want you guys to do your most important question of the week. This is going to be what you guys should ask yourselves after every single week when you do your reviews, which is how can I progress coming into next week? So ask yourselves, how could you progress based off of your pros and your cons and how you traded that specific week? How can you progress coming into the next week? In this case, because we did all of our pros, we had a minimal number of trades, we followed our system, there wasn't really any cons. What do we have to do coming into next week? Repeat, right? Repeat the same action. Repeat the same action. We followed our risk management. We were able to stick to our certain R gains and our R losses. And so coming into next week, all we have to do to progress is simply just repeat the same exact action. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, is just repetition coming into next week. Now let's go ahead and pull up the journal as well. Go ahead and look over that so you guys can see those trades for the week as well. We had that -1. We had the +3R, so that puts us at that 2R. And then we had a -1 and then the +5R. So very, very beautiful trades as that goes. Let's look at what we're looking for October. Let me go ahead and scroll up real quick. October, we are +6R with a 50% win rate so far, 10 days into it, which is very, very amazing. So let's keep it up, boys. Let's keep focusing on working hard and keep pushing harder and harder, man. Overall, we're looking at 233.5 R gain within 146 trades and a win rate of 57.2%. So our highest R's are going to be 10 to 15, and our average is going to sit around that 4 or that 3, 4, and 5 mark, which is very, very beautiful. So let's keep this up. Let's keep the work up. Definitely get into outside this weekend. Make sure you go touch some grass. After this, we have nothing else to do but reset, recoup, and get ready for the next week ahead. So I love the work. I love to see everybody in the server active. Let's keep it going. Let's keep pushing. That was my review for the week. Thanks to everybody that did join today. This was recorded and will be posted up into YouTube within the next 10 to 15 minutes. I like to keep these short, simple, and sweet, as there's not too much you have to do when you go back, right? Honestly, it's just looking at how you risk managed that week. If you did your job, if you followed your system, all you have to do is repeat coming into the next week following that. So again, thanks to everybody that joined today. I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your day and or night, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, everybody.